I'll start off by asking both of you, you first, Mr. Hogg, and then you, Mr. Mertz, why you are against busing to achieve desegregation.
Well, quite frankly, busing is not the primary consideration. Busing is just a catalyst for the larger problem, the problem being that for the first time in the history of the American people, you and I as an individual do not have the right to express our opinions and express our goals through the democratic process of the vote.
We are involved in a freedom of choice. We move into a neighborhood, we buy a home, we expect our children to go to that school, and then someone from the outside comes in and says, no, you can't send your child there. That grade will not be, the second grade, for instance, will not be provided for him, and your child has got to be transported from his neighborhood to another school. So we lose one of our basic freedoms of choice that we have grown up with in this country.
Let me ask you this. Superintendent Julius Truelson has said that the problem of busing and desegregation or integration is not with the children but with the adults. And he said, quote, the children would love the bus ride. Would you respond to that, each of you?
Well, perhaps the child under normal circumstances would enjoy the bus ride. All children like to get on the bus, take a ride, or take a ride with a family in the car, the old Sunday afternoon type of thing. But with the program that they are putting forth to the people, the child has to be aware of it. Here a child has gone to the first grade in his neighborhood school. The child is then being taken out of that school, placed on a bus, being taken across the neighborhood to another school. This has to have a psychological reaction on this child. He has to be aware of it, and I cannot see any way that is going to keep from making frustrations.
How do you answer the argument that for years black children were bused past white schools to maintain segregation? How do you feel about that? Was that wrong? Or?
We agree with them that what has been done over the years is wrong. Just as slavery was wrong prior to 1863, but two wrongs do not make a right, and moving white children and black children now does not justify what they're doing, nor does it excuse what we've done to the black children in years past.
How do you undo what we've done to the black children in the past?
By offering them a good, fundamentally sound education with whatever is required, whatever dollars is required, whatever effort is required on the part of not just the black community, but the black and white community through an integrated school, an integrated community.
You think an integrated school is needed for quality education?
We think that the schools themselves should offer a quality education, and if integrated schools is what it takes for each child to get the best education available, that's what we'll do.
Carmen, this is Ridgely Hills Elementary where you went to school last year, right?
Yes.
What grade were you in?
Third.
Mm-hmm. And you got here by bus, you told me, you and some other students.
Yes.
Where did you start from?
Winthrop and Westridge.
That's near the apartments where you lived?
Yes.
And where did you go from Winthrop and Rockridge?
Waverly Way.
Yeah,
That's
past the Ridgely Country Club.
That's
down
around that
Waverly.
little circle? Okay. Then you went from there where?
To Clayton Road East.
And then?
To Woodstock, and then up to Clayton Road West.
And you're picking up other children as you go along, the bus is, right?
Yes.
Okay, and then Clayton Road West, you said? From there where?
To Angus.
Angus? That's right down near the school, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then where'd you go from there?
You turned on Cumberland.
And that's the street this school is on?
Yes.
How long did it take you to get here from the time you got on the bus?
10 or 15 minutes.
And then you rode the bus back the same way in the evening?
Yes.
Did you take the same route back, or did you go a different way, or?
We crossed the highway before we went back.
Do you have any feelings one way or another about your child being bused 2 miles away when there was an elementary 2 or 3 blocks away?
Well, I thought it was very strange when I came to Fort Worth and found that we came 2 miles to a school which I knew was predominantly white, when the school nearest us was about 3 blocks by walking, and although it was predominantly black, it would have been much more convenient and certainly more in the neighborhood.
Would your children have objected, or do you know?
Not
Or
in,
would you
not
have
in the least.
objected?
No, I felt like any school that was doing its job was good enough. And if it wasn't doing its job, it wasn't the neighborhood's fault, but rather the school system's fault. But
Well, you lived within the boundary of the district that includes this school rather than Como, is that right?
right, we were in the Ridgely Hills district, which, as I say, I thought was puzzling because we were just a matter of, several blocks from the Como Elementary.